Hello, I'm Dragos, and in this video we're going to check a new LLM model from Kimi. The name is Kimi K2 and it is quite new, and there are a lot of good things that are appearing about this model. Some of them are saying that this model is better than Claude for Sonnet. So in this video we are going to check how it's doing and if it's better than Sonnet, at least for my test. And this is their release article, and in here you can see that this model has a 1 trillion total parameters and there are 32 billion active parameters. And you have like two models, K2 base and K2 instruct, and this is for general chat and like agentic experience, and basically this is the one that you should use to interact with tools and things like that. And if you are checking their benchmark, you are going to see that, for instance, in some of the cases, this is getting close to Sonnet. You see in here that it's like similar with what Sonnet has to offer. Same in here, like live code bench, for instance, even better than Sonnet. And OJ bench, this one it's even better than the Opus one. So there are a lot of good things that are happening with this model, and the benchmark are looking quite good. And yeah, they're offering like a free chat interface that you can use, and you can access this through their API or OpenRouter API. And again, this is the article. I will let the link in the description to their benchmarks, and you see in here that it offers very good benchmark. If you think some of the models that have been released lately, they weren't that good. So for instance, the last day I've benchmarked the Grok 4 and it didn't do a great job in coding. So in coding it's quite awful, but this model, it's quite nice and it's offer a good price for the smartness that it's offer. So in here I have the OpenRouter one that I'm going to use today, and in here you see that you have the Moonshot AI, the Kimi K2, and the context is about 131k, which is quite good. And you have prices, and the price it's like for input token it's about 0.57 million, 0.57 cents for a million tokens, and $2.30 for output, and is like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times cheaper than the Cloud Sonnet one. And in here on the OpenRouter you have two options from where you can take it, and you see that you have different prices in function of the options that you are going to use. And this is the instruct model from what I've seen. So you see in here that it's the K2 instruct. Again in here it's K2 instruct, and this model is the one that I've used to benchmark my prompt that I'm building on website. And in here you see that the problem with this model is the fact that you have like a small number of tokens per second, so this is very slow if you compare this with Cloud. So yeah, you see in here that this one it's about 40 median tokens per second. And yeah, I've already started this, and I wanted to benchmark it and see how it's doing. And in here, if we're going to check my credits and usage, I already used it yesterday, and you see that I did a lot of requests, and this is the, let's say, the speed 22 tokens per second, 70, 60. So yeah, this is the throughput for this, and you see that I've used it a lot because I created my prompt. And let's see, and everything costed about, let's see the usage, I don't know, about $1 to create a website. And in the past with Cloud Sonnet and Zed, which is a nice editor, I've managed to create this website with only one prompt. And I've tested the same prompt with this Kimi K2 to see how it's doing. Mostly what I'm interested on is to create like coding website, like maybe create articles, content, and yeah, you see that Claude did a good job on this website. It looks quite good, and I've asked it to create everything, and all the pages are working, the services are working, contact page, and so on. And yeah, you see that it looks quite good if you ask me. And he created all the icons for this and everything. So yeah, in this video we're going to test this and see how it did. So what I did, I have an Astro website that is created. It has Tailwind 4 installed. And if you don't know Astro, it's a web framework that can help you build static or dynamic websites easily. And it's fast and easy to use, and it's like the GOAT in building websites. So if you don't know about Astro, you should check it and see how it's working. I have my website bidoze.com built with this, and other websites with this. So yeah, it's the best framework that you can use right now for building websites. You can even use React, Svelte, and other languages that you know. And in here I've spin off this, and what I did, I've prompted to create a website that I've created in the past with Grok, with Cloud Sonnet, the one that you've seen, and with Gemini, and I wanted to see how it's doing. So basically in here I'm just telling it that I have an Astro website, it has Tailwind 4 installed, and I want to create the website for a solar panel company, and I want to have a menu, footer, hero section, services, testimonials, projects, call to action, about services, contact page. I want a readme with everything that is done, and I want to have like animation and SVGs for assets like services and other things with icons and things like that. So basically this is the prompt that I'm using to benchmark these LLMs. And in here you see that I'm using the Kimi K2, and this is with OpenRouter, because OpenRouter it's offering these things. And the good part with OpenRouter is the fact that you can use the right agent. So basically it creates all the files for you. So I've asked the Kimi K2 to create all these things for me. And yeah, I mean, this took about 60k of tokens from the 131k context, and it managed to create something beautiful. At least this is my opinion, and you need to think that this is a cheap model that you can use. The problem with this model is the fact that it's very slow. So to create these sites it took about 2 hours, and with Cloud you can do this, I don't know, in 10-15 minutes. I already did that in a live stream that I had, and in here you see that I've asked him this, and it started to work with everything, and it wanted to see what I have in here, and it created the detailed plan for me. And the first thing that he did is to create the SVGs for us. So he started with creating the SVGs for this project because I asked him to do this, and he created then the components. You see in here that we have the SEO components, and if you check the Astro structure, he did a very good job creating these components, and he did very good job, because you see in here you have the front-end structure, and it created constants with things that you want to add, and the code is quite complete for SEO. Of course it was not perfect, but yeah, I mean, I was interested to see how it's doing, and we're going to see the project. So basically this is the header. It created a header for us with everything, and you see that you have a lot of code in here for the header, for instance, and it created a footer for us. Then it created a hero section. Then it created a services, testimonial section. So yeah, it created everything that I needed, and it understood very well the Astro structure projects. In this area there are some problems, because at some point he forget to add these 3 lines in there, but this is like a small thing that he forget to add, and in here you see that it added the categories in here like on constants, and it added everything into the project, into the front matter, which is a good thing because you can easily modify it in here. You don't need to go into the code, I mean into the HTML code. You still need to go into the code to modify it if you want. Call to action. So this is a quite complete code if you ask me, for a Chinese model. And yeah, layout, it created the layout for us. In here you see that it deleted the Tailwind CSS4 import, which is not a good thing, but yeah, this happens, also happens with Claude. I added it manually to bypass this. Okay, the index has been created with everything. The about page then. Okay, let's see. And in here, during this test, there are some cases where it just stopped. I don't know if it was used by a lot, but I guess there aren't a lot of power for when you are using this model in China, because they have shortages when it comes to GPUs and video. And in here you see that, for instance, it didn't add the 3 lines in the beginning, but this is a small thing that I've added myself, because Z-Editor, it lets you know about this. And again, you need to think that this costs, I don't know, about $1 to make, which is very cheap. And this was the contact page that it created with the code. And we're gonna check the code after. Let's see what I ask him in here. Again, in here it gets stuck with contact, and I ask him to continue, and he continued without any interference. And right now he modifies some of the things in here. Okay. The layout didn't have a header and footer, and I have asked him to do that, and right now he added in the layout the header and footer, so he knew what to do. But again, I've added the import in here for Tailwind CSS4, and he deleted that. But again, this is a small thing that I've needed to modify. And at the end, it created everything for us, and everything ran okay. And in the left side in here, you will see that, for instance, these are the icons that he created. Images, there aren't images. On the layout, you have the footer and header, the things that he created: call to action, hero, project, services, SEO. In the UI, he didn't create anything. In the layout, he added the details for everything. And these are the pages: about, contact, services, and the index page. And if we're going to check what he did, it will be with 41. So let's see. So this is the website that he managed to create, 4321. So you see in here that we have a nice header, that it's sticky with the menu and the get code. This looks very similar with Cloud for Sonnet, so it's like, I don't know, it's very close. This is what Cloud Sonnet managed to do, so you see that it's not that far off. It's similar, and in here you have the services. With this nice section, you have all the services in here, future projects, and you can even filter on these projects without a problem. So again, it's very nice. It created the SVG for the project, and it did a pretty good job. See all your projects in here, and in here you have the things that others are saying. In here there are some problems, I guess, with the icon or the SVG, but again, it looks nice. And in here you have a nice thing that it shows you the details, and in here you have this call to action thing that it's quite good, and you have a nice footer. So yeah, like a page, you have all of the things that you want. And for instance, if you go to about, again in here you have like some nice things that you have for the about page. It's clean and nice in the navigation. Services, again, you have all the services in here and it looks quite good. And in here you have the schedule consultation, get a free code, and you have the hour process, so it looks decent. In the projects section, again, you have the filter option and you have all the projects, testimonials and the other things, and then you have the ready to switch to solar. And this is a very nice view for my point of view, and I like it a lot. And in here you have the contact page again, and in the contact page you have all of the things that you need. Of course, the contact form is not working, you need to link it with something. And in here you have this drop down that it's working perfectly. So yeah, you have like a very nice design. If you are comparing this with Claude, it's coming close to what Claude managed to do. Claude looks a little better, and here again you see that you can filter on projects. So it kept this, and in here you have even more things. This one is not working. Here is the contact page. So you see that, for instance, Kimi does a very good job, and Kimi can be used for free. This is the option. So basically you can use their API for free. The other thing is that you can go to Moonshot, and if you have registered a free account, you can go and ask Kimi whatever you want. So let's open this and see. Kimi K2. And this is kimi.com. And in here, if you are going to this and you hit a new chat, you can ask with it. Of course, first you need to log in. I already have an account with Google. And in here you have some options to do research. For instance, you can go and search things. And in here you can choose the K2 or the previous model. You can attach things. Common phrases. I didn't use the interface that a lot, but it looks good. And in here you can ask him from what date you have data. It's just a question, and you can ask him details and he will answer to you. You will see that this is not quite fast, and yeah, he's telling that it's having like July 2024, so it's a little old than the Sonnet one, but it's doing a very good job. If you are thinking that you are paying like I don't know, a lot less than Cloud, so you can use this with other CLI tools that supports this. We're going to test this in the future, but I'm quite happy with what Kimi K2 is offering. The only problems that I'm seeing is the fact that it's quite slow. So it took about 2 hours to create that website, and in Cloud you did it in 20 minutes with Z. But again, you can use it for free. That's the main attraction. And it's doing a very good job. And yeah, it's like an interesting model that you can use it today, and it's comparable with Cloud for Sonnet. So I hope you understand something from this video, and you have an idea about how Kimi K2 is doing when you want to use it with an Astor website. And it's very good if you try to create like front-end designs. I hope you enjoyed the video. In case you like what we have seen, please don't forget to like and subscribe.